What's going on, guys? Ryan Rotolo here at the Crypto Fiend Studios, bringing you guys the hottest, the latest, and everything crypto-related news. Today, we're going to be doing a beginner's guide on understanding how to read candlestick graphs in cryptocurrencies. Now, when investing in cryptocurrencies, being able to read the graphs is a very important factor in determining good buying and good selling points. So for today, I'm going to teach you guys what candlestick graphs are, how to use them, and how to best enhance your trading capability. So first off, we're going to be looking at what candlestick charts are and how they work, and then we're going to apply them to actual moving charts in cryptocurrencies to show you how they all work together so you can help benefit you in making the best trades possible in cryptocurrencies. So first off, this is what a candlestick chart looks like. Now, this is the most widely used chart in all of cryptocurrencies and the stock market, mainly being very simple and easy to understand while still providing a lot of information to help benefit you in determining future prices. So what we're going to do first is we're going to be looking at the green side and the red side and kind of dissecting what each part is and how to understand what it all means. So with this little image here, let me see if I can, all right, I can't make it bigger, but hopefully you guys can see it well. Right here, we're going to be looking at, you have a green period and you have a red period. So what that means is a period means the amount of time each candlestick is worth. So on the majority of exchanges and graphs, you can change the time period to whether it's 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, 1 week. So that means each candlestick is going to be that length of time. So I personally usually look at the 4 hour just because that gives you a wide perspective of the price movement, but doesn't give you too wide a perspective where it's not going to really be beneficial to you. So I look at the 4 hour personally, but I'll show you guys later on when we look at the live trading of how that all works. But once you determine your period, you're going to get your candlestick. Now right here, this is the green candlestick. That's going to be the bullish candlestick. That means the green candlestick is the price movement going upward, and then you have the red candlestick, which is the bearish candlestick. That means the price movement is going downward. Now right here, this fat green rectangle, this is called the real body. This is where the price action is happening at that given time. So right down here, you can see that there's an open arrow. This means that the price movement is starting at that spot. That's where the price is starting on this candlestick. And then at the end of the period, you're going to have a closing line, and that's going to be right up here where the candlestick ends. Now you have these little skinny lines right here. These are either called wicks, tails, or shadows. I like to call them wicks just because if you're thinking of candlesticks, you like to think of wicks, so it makes it kind of easy. So I call them wicks. Now what these lines are, this is showing the very, very low of the price movement in that period of time, and the top here is showing the highest point of the price movement in that period of time. Now this applies completely the same to the red side or the bearish side, but the only difference is that it's a little bit flipped on the opening and the close. The opening is going to be at the top of the candlestick because if you're going downward, the opening is going to be at the top, and then the close is at the bottom. So again, to refresh, this right here is called the real body where the price action is happening. And then the open is where the price is starting at that given period of time. And then right down here where it closes, that's going to be the end of the real body. That's going to be the closing price for that period of time. These two skinny lines on each side, which is either called the wick, the tail, or the shadow, that is going to be the high of the price movement in that period of time, as well as the low of the price movement in that period of time. So what I want to do right now is I want to go over to Binance.com and look at some live trading in cryptocurrencies and look at the live movement of the candlestick charts. So we're at Binance.com looking at NEO in the Bitcoin market. So since we're in the Bitcoin market, everything's based off in Satoshis. So what I was talking about earlier with the time period where each candlestick has its own time and you can change that time. So right up here, you have the different times. You have the minutes tab, the hour tab, the day tab, and the week tab. So the larger amount of time you want each candlestick to be, the less valuable information you're going to get, and vice versa. the smaller amount of time you get, the more valuable information you're going to receive. Now, what I mean by that is if I was to click on the 1 week, as you can see, I get a very boring chart that doesn't really give me enough information on a good buying and selling point. It gives me a wide perspective on the overall growth of NEO, but it doesn't give me a good perspective on if I should buy or sell at that given time. So if we go to the 1 day tab, you can see we get a lot more information to help us to determine good buying and selling points, but still, that means each candlestick is equal to 24 hours. That's still kind of wide and out there. So if we go to the hours tab, we could choose different hours, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, as well as the minutes tab. Now, I personally stay away from the minutes tab because it's changing too consistently, and that's mainly for day traders as well as the 1 hour and the 2 hour. So I personally use the 4 hour. Now, the reasoning for this is it still gives you a wide perspective of what's going on in that cryptocurrency, but still kind of broadens it so it's not too confusing and all that kind of stuff. So again, I'm not a day trader, so I don't look at the minute tab and the 1 hour and the 2 hour. I look at the 4 hour because it's a good way to help get in at a good solid price and still get a lot of information. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to analyze a couple candlesticks to show you what happened previously in the price movement, and then we're going to look at the minute tab to show you guys live movement of a candlestick and how it all works. So if we look at these candlesticks right here, we'll start right here with this green candlestick. This thick part again is called the real body. So we could see that the bottom of this real body, it started right here. This was the opening price of this candlestick. So this was the opening price of that 4 hour period. It opened at 12,384 Satoshis. And in that 4 hour time period, it hit a low of 11,797 Satoshis and a high of 14,293 Satoshis. Now it closed at 14,080 Satoshis. So that means at the end of that 4 hour period, this candlestick ends and it moves on to a new candlestick. So as you can see, it moved on to a new candlestick. Now when you begin a downtrend or a bearish movement in a candlestick chart, the opening starts at the top. So as you can see with this bearish candlestick, the opening started at 14,091 Satoshis and it closed at 13,696 Satoshis. But in that 4 hour period, it hit a high of 14,336 Satoshis and a low of 13,163 Satoshis. So again, with the bullish side, the opening starts at the bottom and the close starts at the top. With the bearish side, the opening starts at the top and ends at the bottom. The close ends at the bottom. So that's the little differences between the two. So what I want to do right now is I want to go over to the minutes tab and just show you guys what candlesticks look like when they're moving while being traded. So right now we're at the minutes tab looking at NEO. And you could see that it's moving right now. That means people are trading it. The candlestick is trying to determine where it wants to close at the end of this minute. So at the end of 60 seconds, it's going to move on to a new candlestick. Now we clicked on it when it was already on this one, so there's probably like 20 seconds left. So in a minute, it's going to move on to a new candlestick, and then we'll see in the previous candlestick what happened in that time period. So let's just wait for it to go on to the next one, and then we'll analyze the previous candlestick on what happened. So I think it's really cool to be able to see how the candlesticks move live and not just see a broad perspective of the history of a chart. Now, don't get me wrong, the history of the chart is the most important thing to help determine future price movement, because what previously happened in the past will most likely repeat itself in the future. Now, that's not in all cases, but a lot of the times you could definitely see a reoccurring price movement in cryptocurrencies. Okay, so as you can see, it moved on to a new candlestick. So like I was talking about earlier, when you have a candlestick like this one right here, where it's very thin, those are called Doji candles, D-O-J-I candles. That means that it opened and closed nearly at the same value. So in that 1 minute period, the value of that cryptocurrency barely moved at all. So that's why it's called a doji candlestick, like this one right here, and like this one right here, where it's very close together, where it practically had no price movement. So we could see that the high of this candlestick was, we're looking at this green one right here, the high was 11,882 and the low was 11,866, and now it just finished the second one. So as you can see, the minute tab moves fast, so that's why I don't personally look at the minutes tab. It's just too fast of information that's not very valuable. So I personally look at the 4 hour, because again, you get a wide perspective of what's going on while still kind of keeping it organized and neat, and getting into a cryptocurrency at a good value. So that's really candlesticks summed up, guys. They're very easy to help determine future price movement if you understand what's going on, and help you could start using indicators. Now, we're not going to go into indicators in this video. This is strictly just candlestick charts. I will be doing indicator videos in the future because I know a lot of you guys want to learn about those. So that will be coming next, and those are great ways to help determine future price movement, let alone just the candlesticks. So that's the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you have any questions at all, please leave comments below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.